did I meet Keith Roach? Well, first of all, being a poet and happening upon the Nuyorican Poets Cafe in New York City. He was the host of the Friday Night Slam at the Nuyorican, and whenever you heard about the Nuyorican, Keith Roach's name was automatically associated with that. So he was the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. I sought his assistance with my performance, my stage performance, and he was kind enough to help me out with that. The thing that really helped me was his honesty. He was very candid with me about what I was doing. He gave me a lot of inspiration. He told me I was too damn comfortable on the stage and that I needed to find that place within myself where it wasn't as comfortable, the place that was on the edge, the place that was difficult to be in. As a former dancer, I danced in college and in high school, and we would always listen to the and. So it was you move on the and, the in between, the beat, that part, the and. So he would have me listen to some jazz and to the transitions and all the stuff that was going on, and in the and, in that place in between where the instruments met was where he told me to listen. And what did I hear? And from that's the place I need to perform from, I need to speak from when I'm actually on the stage. He told me one day, he says, you know what, why don't you just put on two different kind of shoes? You know, so I'm like hobbling around like this, you know, not feeling comfortable at all. But that's the place I needed to be, because from that place, I'm like, I can't even rely on anything that I normally would. I had to go from here, from my heart, from the place from which I write, and not worry about how it's received, what people are going to say, and how it sounds, or any of those other things. It's just all about coming from the heart. So that's my Keith Roach story.
Weren't you the coach?
Yeah, of the Nuyorican team. Yeah.
Was it last year?
2000. We worked on everything from the way you walk to the mic, the way you approach the mic. I remember I spent half an hour, like almost 45 minutes, working with Helena on just how she's going to walk away from the mic. Nothing was left to chance. Just the way she's going to step back and turn and walk from the mic. We spent like 45 minutes working on just that. We spent 2 hours working with Tehuntnan with just a face expression that he's going to do at a particular point in the poem. And we left nothing to chance. And we came there every night, beating every single team.
How did you learn to do this?
I've been a salesman. And being in sales, the average customer coming to you, the store, they're lying to you right off the bat. Hi, can I help you? No, I'm just looking. Now, you're here for something. You know, if you're looking, you definitely have something in mind. I mean, you might not be ready to buy it right now, but everybody's just looking. My job is to turn that look into dollars for the company. So immediately you have to learn to read body language. And a lot of poets, you know, you'll see they're saying something on stage and they're angry, but the body language isn't angry. Or the body language is angry, but the mood is mellow. So they're being hypocritical. They weren't really true to what they wrote. So one thing that I taught was to match the body language with the performance. The other thing that I taught was voice inflections. If you're on stage for 3 minutes and there's no pitch, nothing, then you're very monotone and people begin to tune you out. You don't want anybody to miss what you're saying. So you have to have peaks and valleys in your performance. You know, you bring the words down really low, or you get real emotional or whatever, but make sure the emotion comes across.
You're here for the Wednesday Night Slam, and my name's Nathan P., your host for tonight. And what you're about to see tonight is a true representation of the art form of what we call a slam, which is a friendly competition amongst poets. Up to 20 poets will get to read. The 10 who signed the list read automatically. 5 years when I first stepped on the scene, you saw a whole lot of different types of poets, a whole lot of different types of presentations. You can go to the open mic and out of 15 people reading, no two sounded alike, and everybody was very creative and artistic. Today, it seems like everybody has the similar sound, and that sound is sort of a carbon copy of what they hear on radio and the commercials and the movies and on the TV shows on cable. So you get the feeling that the poets or people who want to be poets are looking at that and saying, that's how you do the art form. Let me mimic that so I can get out there doing it because, oh, that's what's hot now.
Well, slam takes a certain amount of fire. It takes a certain amount of reserve. That's what you want to do because it takes up a lot of time. You know, you have to go around and slam on the various local slams. Then you have the slam to try to get into the nationals, to go with a team. Then most of the teams don't have money, so you got to come up with the money to go to wherever it is that you're going. So the question is, how far can you take it? How many times do you want to do that?
When you've done the slam scene, what would you like anticipate the next level will be?
Well, the next level is you might put out CDs, or you might put out DVDs, or you might do a one-man show, or you might do a show that's of poetry that's in collaboration with other poets. You might take that someplace. Some people luck out and film and poetry evolves them into film, like Saul Williams. But a lot of people look at Saul and they think that he actually jumped out of slam and did that, but actually he was a theater major and a film major, and he went to NYU. And same thing for Bo Sear. So, but slam is a platform. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to shape your craft. It's an opportunity to hone your craft. It's an opportunity to make contacts. It's an opportunity to be heard. Because, say, if you go to an open mic, you might not get to do but one poem. But if you go in a slam and your scores are high enough to take you from all the way through the slam, you might get to do up to 3 or 4 poems. So it's an opportunity to be heard. And I think if you think of it as more than that, then it's unfortunate, because a lot of people's ego get caught up in whether or not they win or whether they lose or whatever. And it's really not about that.
What have you seen change, good and bad, positive and negative?
Okay. All right, well, let's go to negative first, because that's always easier, right? I think that, what has changed is that there's this, I think, almost an unhealthy emphasis on performance. Everybody wants to perform. The other change is that I think probably the positive change is that there are a lot more places, a lot more venues, and a lot more availability, to all of this stuff that these poets and performers are doing. But to me, the most negative thing from my perspective, again, is I think that people are paying too much attention to performance and not enough to writing. But a lot of times, the simplest thing that people can do is just edit.
For instance,
and edit doesn't mean
I know what you mean when you say edit. But what do you mean? What can poets take away from what you're saying when you say edit? Break it down for a poet.
Okay, edit. The phrase is clumsy. Tighten it up. The phrase is it's bad. A lot of sometimes I think people use bad language and justify bad language. Or I'm a poet, But no, bad language is bad language. It doesn't matter what the format is. It doesn't work. Too many words, too much description, too little description. Not enough imagery, right? And images should be they should make sense. I don't mean in a pure kind of technical way. They should just make sense that, I don't need to rack my brain. You could get all of the pure technical insight and assistance, but that may not be what you want. What you want is to be able to say what the hell you mean to say.